Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Coins Alert channel. Today I'm making another movie about XRP. So, I hope everyone is having a great day today, no matter where they are in the world. Let's talk about XRP. To begin, I have to share this from XRP. Secret Wolf, I'm really tired of seeing XRP fall along with the market. It was meant to separate a long time ago. What is stopping XRP from becoming independent of Bitcoin? Not being clear and not having enough rules. This is the reason rules are so important. As soon as things are clear in the US, XRP will separate from Bitcoin. Take a look at what's going on with Mecca. This comes from rumors that XRP will be paid for by Mika. Utility tokens will be regulated by Mika's crypto assets. The sources below from McKinsey say that XRP is a utility token, and I think the same thing will happen here in the US. So now you know about crypto asset issuers, utility tokens, and crypto asset service providers. Besides Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, there are safe coins in the middle. But once XRP is recognized as a utility token in the US, its value will go up because institutional money will start to move into it. It will not be subject to speculation or hype like Bitcoin is, which is what I've been trying to say the whole time. Because Bitcoin takes the market down with it every time it goes down right now. When things are clear, it won't happen again. XRP will go where it wants to go. Saya thinks that XRP could be worth $1,000 by 2030. Listen to this. Lee put on the table. Lee put on the table. Add our huge group of more than 1 million developers to the XRP ledger. Through the hackathons that many people have seen on social media, etc., we've been working with them to really help the next generation of companies get started in the financial services sector. These companies can be anything from the biggest institutions to small startups. Here at our company, we're very optimistic about XRP because they've already made progress in the track by area. They've been very careful to get a lot of licenses all over the world to make sure they'll be able to control the space when banks start to use blockchain and crypto, which they are already beginning to do with safe coins. That's clearly a very important use case. Ripple has their own stablecoin called RLSD, which is great, and we've already started teaching our group about it. In the end, we're just really excited about the mission and what they're already doing to bring together all these big institutions. For example, the Hidden Road acquisition is a great example of how they'll use the XRP ledger in the real world to settle trades, etc., much faster and cheaper than would be possible otherwise. Of course, there are also foreign money transfers. We think that all of these things make it one of the most important companies of the next 10 years. A lot of people have also asked me what I think the price of XRP will be. I believe this is the first time I'll say it. But I believe that XRP will reach $1,000 by 2030. For me, that means $1,000 by 2030. It seems like it will happen a lot faster. As I already said, that date for 2030 has changed. I believe everything will be ready by 2027 or 2028. But is his forecast true? To put it another way, is it possible? I talked about this in a video yesterday. Zach Rector, a cryptocurrency expert, talks about the money that XRP needs to reach $100 and $1,000. So between $11 billion and $58 billion must come into XRP for it to reach $100. Also, $118 to $589 billion needs to come in before XRP can be worth $1,000. Let's check out the if. In 2024, $35 billion came into Bitcoin ETF, which was the most money ever put into an ETF in its first year, and only made $13 billion in 2025. What do you think will happen when all of these go live if that much money is pouring into Bitcoin ETF? Let's look at how much people want an XRP ETF and what price XRP will be at soon after all of these ETF are born. That means that ETF could bring the price of XRP to $50 or even higher, since it doesn't take as much money as you think it does to move the price. That's how a $50 to $100 XRP price comes to be. And I still think it's possible this time. Along with that, you add tokenization, because once we have rules, tokenization will also grow. That's when tokenization will really take off. Think about all that value going into the XRP system and XRP moving that value every day. After that, you pay. Look at everything from ISO to XRP and all the other cryptocurrencies. It's a great time to be an X. All of these statements have been made in the last 10 years. It wasn't going to happen. And if you make it sound like the past, you're lying to yourself. And I agree. What do people say at this moment? We are watching the 2017-2018 run, and it looks like that's what's happening with XRP. But this run will be even better than the 2017-2018 run because institutional money is now coming in. We're going to see that huge flood of cash into these coins. I can promise you that banks and other big businesses will stay away from Bitcoin. They're already not just interested in Bitcoin. In a year, XRP did better than Bitcoin by 237% without ETF or backing from the government. It's getting both and more now. That's something to think about. For now, we are already doing better than Bitcoin, even without the ETF. Since Trump was elected, XRP has been doing better than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it was beginning to happen before the president was even chosen. Bitcoin and Ethereum are old news, so everything is dying off around them. Brand new tech is taking over. If the coin you own doesn't help people in the real world, it will lose value over time. This isn't just about ETF either. Take a look at all the companies that are now making funds around XRP. They're going to store all that XRP for a long time while they buy it all up. All up. What do you think will happen? All of a sudden, things are getting scarce while desire keeps going up. People aren't buying into the Bitcoin hype like they did during past bull runs. Who is going to buy? No one is the answer. These scams are being bought. Whales who still control most of this Ponzi scheme have been able to get out at good prices by driving up the price. Bitcoin isn't being bought by stores. It's true, they are now moving away from Bitcoin. So they want the government to buy Bitcoin so that these big bag holders can get their money back. The price keeps going up because these people bought but didn't sell. Now they want the US government to help them out. Most of the time, they get the retail aid. Regular people are still putting their money into Bitcoin, but big investors are still getting out of the market. Things are very different this time. When Bitcoin kept setting new all-time highs, I kept telling people there wasn't any hype about it. It's not really being talked about. Do you know why? That's because most of the hype comes from shopping on X. Since stores aren't making money, why would they even talk about Bitcoin? The people who hold the big bags are talking about it. Loomis and Michael Saylor are talking about it. People from BlackRock and malls are talking about it, which is keeping the story going in the mainstream media, and hope that more and more people start investing in Bitcoin. Then why in the world would you buy something if you can't use it? It doesn't make sense to hold Bitcoin if you can't buy a whole one. That's why they cannot see it now. And in a lot of films, they said the digital dollar would come out in 2025. The Genius Act was the first step. This is what the Treasury has to say. Stupsa. You have made another important legislative success that is a huge step toward keeping your promise to make the US the crypto capital of the world. By making the rules clear, this brilliant move will allow the United States to take the lead in the crypto business. It will bring out-of-date payment lines with a completely new way to pay for things. It will also make the US dollar more important around the world by making a digital dollar that anyone can use. By making an electronic dollar that can be used by anyone in the world.